Now, if you're anything like me, you've always wanted your own homestead. Now, I've always hunted and I've always raised a lot of my own critters like rabbits and chickens and turkeys. Raised quail last year, and I also went and bought some lambs last spring that I decided that I wanted to try to raise. So far, it's worked out. Now, I was reading an article last week, and it said that the average American spends $331 a week at the grocery store. That is over $17,000 a year. That is over $17,000 a year. Now, I'm planning to be 100% self-sufficient at the end of this season. So what I want to do is have a garden that is large enough to provide us with food, along with providing food for my critters. So everything that I feed them, I raise myself, and then I have them to eat, along with the things that we get out of the garden. So if I can reduce my grocery bill, hopefully eliminate it, except for like sugar and flour and things like that, then I will be able to take all that extra money and put it towards my next property, which I want about 50 acres. But I have no intentions of being a farmer. I only want about 4 to maybe 5 acres of open land. And the reason I want that is because I don't want to have to do any mowing. I don't want to have the overhead of a tractor, of a bush hog, or any other kind of equipment. I want my lambs to be able to eat all that grass. I want my chickens to be able to free range. I want to be able to have my rabbits in a rabbit tractor and just move them occasionally. And I don't want to have any overhead. I don't want to have any fuel cost, nothing like that. So if I can eliminate my overhead, if I can eliminate my grocery bill, I'll be able to put a lot of money back in the bank and hopefully be able to pay this place off a whole lot quicker to where I can move a whole lot sooner. And I'll be 100% self-sufficient, and I won't have to rely on anybody but myself and my family. So if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button and follow along, and let's see if I can turn this 2-acre property into a 100% homestead. Because when I move, I don't want to jump in with both feet and not be able to have a really good understanding of what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you the things that I do and what works and what doesn't work and what I like to do and the things that I don't like to do. Doesn't necessarily make it the right way. It's just the way that I do it. So please follow along and let me know what you think. You know, before 2020, I had a landscaping business and I took care of 72 properties a week. And some of them were very large properties, and I just got so sick of mowing. Well, one thing I learned is when your mower breaks down, it always costs you money. And the great thing about these lambs, see, they now mow my yard. And when they break down, I get to eat them. It's wonderful. I want to take a few minutes and show you my rabbit pen and my sheep pen and what I've done to keep them from digging out and to keep other critters from digging in. I think it's a good idea. You know, I repurposed an old dog kennel and I used my daughter's playhouse that I built, I don't know, about 4.5 foot off the ground. And I fenced off underneath of it. And it made a perfect shelter. I put a little gate on the front of it. It kept them locked up at night. But they don't use it now, unless it's just really, really bad weather. So here it is back here behind me. Now you can see where I just fenced it off and I put rocks around it. It did a good job. Nothing was able to get in and nothing was able to get out. So more on that later. So this is underneath the playhouse. And you can see I just stacked rocks and all around the outside. You know, it kept coyotes and coons from digging in here and getting to my chickens and stuff when I had them in here. It's really simple. And I just can't encourage you enough to use what you already have. Make do, repurpose stuff. Stop trying to impress people. You know, like I said, this is something super simple but effective. And it just works. You can see how I just stacked the rocks on the inside and the outside, and I wrapped it in chicken wire. Now, the shelter that they're staying in is just an old fish pond that I demoed when I first moved in. And I stuffed it full of hay up underneath there. You know, it keeps them dry, it keeps them warm, and they seem happy. I'll flip it over here in just a second, show it to you, and tell you a little bit more about what I'm going to do and how I'm going to feed them and how I plan to do it for free. So here's my rabbits. That one over here to the left, I don't know what it is. That one right there with the black ears is a California. This one over here is a Rex. And I don't know what my buck is. He was free. Somebody gave him to me, so, I'll take it. It was free. But, they stay in here. They got all kinds of room to run around. I don't like my rabbits to be in a pen, a really small, cramped up pen. And my wife doesn't like it either. Out here, they've got plenty of room. It's 10 by 10. Now, my plans for these rabbits is very simple. I'm going to take all their babies that they have every month, and I'm going to split them up. Half of them I plan to sell to pay for more hay or whatever else that I decide to buy for them, more rabbits, whatever. And then the other half, I'm going to split those up. And half of those will be eaten, and the other half will be for breeding. I think by the time it's all said and done, if I've calculated my numbers right, I should end up somewhere with about a $900 profit for no more than what I plan to sell. Now, it's kind of a high goal, but we're going to see what happens. And if I don't, and I just barely break even, I'm happy with that. Like I said before, I'm not trying to be a farmer. I'm not trying to turn a profit. I'm just trying to get my food and my family's food for free. So my plan for these lambs is pretty much the same as my chickens and my rabbits. I plan to take the babies and split them up. So this spring, I should have 3. If everything works right and they survive, I'm going to take 1 baby to breed. I'm going to take 1 to eat, and the other one's going to be sold. When I sell that one, it will help pay for my cost that I have already in the 3. So it should help to eliminate that aspect of it. But again, I'm just trying to break even. And the one that I eat, I can't really count that because, it was a free lamb. So all I've got in them is a little bit of hay, just not much more than 1 roll this winter. They really didn't start eating it until after December. I just broke the strings on the second bale this morning. So in another 2-3 weeks, they're right back to eating nothing but grass. They won't even eat no more hay. So I'm just going to let them keep mowing my yard and keep raising them. And I have to go get my ram here soon. I got him loaned out. But I'll go pick him up next week, and I'll show you some of my sheep trailer. And I actually built it. I repurposed an old trailer that got destroyed and welded some pipe to it, welded some 4x4 sheet panels to it, and it made a pretty nice little trailer. And I'll show you that when I go to pick him up.